Food is an important part of our lives, in more ways than we can imagine. It's a deep part of human culture, and most of the time it's delicious. People across the globe enjoy the means of finding new and exciting things to do with food. That can sometimes go far beyond eating. From improving your homes, to improving oneself. Today we will be looking at the top 10 different uses of food, that are used in more ways than normal. Number 9. Ramen noodles. Have you ever chipped your bathroom sink, while going about your business? Or worse, broke a chunk off of it? The good news is, you can apparently fix it, with ramen noodles. In a viral video, a man in China showed himself filling a large hole in his sink, with dry blocks of ramen. He then pours water into the ramen, to soften the noodles. He squishes the noodles into place, lets them dry for a few hours, and then chips and sands it into shape, making it nice and smooth, before finally putting down a layer of white spray paint. It has been blended so well, that it's impossible to tell the sink is 1/4 noodle. My only real question is, why did he season the ramen? Number 8. Moonshine. Did you know that moonshine and gasoline are almost the same thing to a car? Apparently it's true. Since the federal mandate has made it a legal requirement, that gasoline must contain at least 10% ethanol, which is the equivalent to corn liquor. When this information was available, people started to dump moonshine into their cars, and it runs more or less the same as on gasoline. In fact, you can totally replace gasoline, and save yourself a pretty penny, by simply brewing up your own moonshine, and pouring it right into your tank. Granted, it's not perfect for the long term, especially for cars built before 2000, and it needs to be at least 150 proof, but if you have those two terms met, you should be well on your way. Just make sure you have a license to brew. Number 7. Lemon. Lemons are one of the most perfect fruits in nature. You can use them to highlight your hair, make a refreshing drink, remove stains from your dishes, remove plaque from your teeth, add flavor to your delicious meat. Lemons can do it all. Truly a perfect being. Did you know they can also protect your home from bugs? Insects such as roaches, spiders, and ants have an extremely strong sense of smell that at times can overwhelm what little brains they have. That sense of smell is particularly sensitive to the smell of citrus, specifically citric acid. Lemons, being the perfect fruit that they are one of the strongest members of the citrus family, containing a ton of citric acid. Simply squeeze the lemon into a spray bottle, and squirt the juice around your doors and windows, and rest easy, knowing that bugs won't even cross your threshold. As a bonus, you get to enjoy a nice summer scent, all year round. Number 6. Milk. Oh no, you've dropped your fine china, and now it has an incomplete hairline crack across the plate. China plates are very easy to ruin, than most equipments around the house. Never fear, because the enterprising young housewives of the world have a solution for this issue. A milk bath. Milk is good for more than just your bones. The instructions as follows: you fill a metal pot with 2 cups of milk, and submerge your cracked plate inside. You heat the milk, on the lowest heat for about an hour, then turn it off and let the whole thing cool. When it's cooled off enough, you take the plate out, rinse it, and voila! The crack should have repaired itself. Supposedly the proteins in the milk fill the crack, and then bond to the china, becoming a part of it. Sounds like magic to me. Number 5. Green apples. Have you ever come across this common phrase used by most people, "An apple a day keeps the doctor away"? This is quite literally the case. If you have frequent headaches, you might want to invest in a bag of green apples once a week, according to researchers from the Healthy Human Research Foundation. 38 out of 50 cases of migraine sufferers said, the smell of green apples was so pleasant, that it actually reduced the severity of their headache to bearable levels. Also, 35 out of the 38 sufferers even adopted this method as part of their daily routine. Number 4. Eggs. This is one of the major building blocks of the average meal. Easy to get, easy to store, delicious, nutritious, and very useful. Even for your hair it seems. According to hair enthusiasts, nothing makes your hair all smooth and silky, quite like an egg yolk. There are several natural hair care remedies out there, but this seems to be the most popular. You start by cracking an egg, and separating out the yolk from the whites. The whites are not needed anymore from this stage onward, but the yolk goes into a decent-sized bowl, with a teaspoon of olive oil, and a cup of lukewarm water. From there you take your fork or a whisk, and beat it all together into a smooth yellow mix. Take it to the bathroom and pour it over your head, but not your face, only after you have shampooed your hair, and you're good to go. Leave it on for 5 minutes, and after you rinse it out, you'll have the silky, soft, shiny hair of your dreams. Number 3, bones. This one is not for the faint-hearted. Bones are great, they provide a handle for your ribs, you can boil them to make broth, crack them open for their marrow, grind them for gelatin, use them for Halloween props, give them to your dog, the uses are endless. In fact, one of those uses is appropriate for Halloween even more so than as decoration: witchcraft. According to many pagan sites, bones are extremely useful in divination, in other words, reading the future. We can look at them in 2 different ways. First, there's casting the bones, where you roll them like dice, and read their positions on the table to see what the future holds. The second method involves the burning of bones. A bone is tossed into an exceptionally hot fire, and left there until it begins to crack and split. Once it's cracked, the witch who is doing the reading will remove the bone from the fire, and read the future from the cracks and splits. Number 2. Banana. Silver is the pride and joy of any jewelry collection. Bright, delicate, and with that gorgeous shine to it, silver is guaranteed to make your partner jump for joy when presented as a gift. It makes your friends and enemies jealous of you and your fabulous life. The only real drawback is silver can tarnish over time and become discolored on its surface. Luckily, we can finally do something to get rid of the discoloration. All you need is a blender, water, and a banana peel to save your silver jewelry from the clutches of time. You simply pop the banana peel and the water into the blender, and grind that little flap of yellow fruit skin until you have a thick banana paste. Smear the paste onto your jewelry, and let it sit for a few minutes, then rinse it off with water, and pat it dry. And that should do it. Number 1. Flour. Flour is one of the main ingredients for baking cakes and other tasty treats, but it has other uses that can benefit us all. According to some lovely housewives, it can also be used to polish steel kitchenware to one beautiful shine. The instructions given are fairly simple as well, so it's easy to do. First, you wash the steel you intend to polish with the standard soap and water, getting it as clean as you can. Then you take a cloth and dry it off as much as possible, otherwise the wet flour will create a horrible mess, which is not helpful at all. Next, you take a dry cloth and absolutely cake it in dry flour, which you then apply it to the steel surface. Now you scrub. The longer and harder you scrub, the shinier your steel will become. Once you think it's done, just wipe it down with a paper towel to get the excess flour off, and then step back to admire your handiwork. If you've done a proper job, you might be able to use the polished steel as a makeshift mirror.